Hi, my name is Tim and I live in Mount Helen. I'm right at the beginning of my electrification journey, I suppose. That is home electrification, I'm not electrifying myself. And that journey started when I interviewed Tim Forcey, who is the author of this book, which I happen to have right here, My Efficient Electric Home Handbook. So I interviewed Tim for the Bunningong Smart Living Festival, and I also attended a Breeze session, the Home Energy Game Plan. And through that book and these sessions, I sort of learnt a fair bit about how to keep your home warmer in winter, cooler in summer, and keep energy bills down. What I discovered from the session and from Tim's book was some really, really quick and simple and cheap things you can do to help keep the energy bills down, whether that be putting draft excluders at the bottom of doors or sealing up the holes in my ceiling, because I have ducted heating, which essentially just has all these holes in my ceiling everywhere, and obviously hot air rises and goes straight out through those holes into my roof where no one lives. So, also at the Home Living Festival, I met Jared from Onfort, and he's an assessor, and he can come around to your house and assess how energy efficient your house is. And I was able, in fact, with the council rebate, to get 50% off Jared's fee, which was great. So he came around and took me around the house. He spent a couple of hours here and just identified where I could make improvements, and gave me a rating out of how efficient my home already is. And I was surprised it's more efficient than I thought it would be, but there's still a long way to go. So
yeah.
Well, this is another tip I got from Tim's book. In winter when you touch windows and you can feel the cold on the pane of glass, this it's not going to win any design awards, but this is bubble wrap. And so obviously it's very, very cheap. What you do is you just spray water on the window, and then you get your bubble wrap, and this adheres to the window, and the little cells in the bubble wrap or whatever insulate against cold and keep the cold out. And then for a second layer, what I've got here is just some sort of plastic sort of window shield thing. I've got this from Timu. They're $6 each. And then you just get some nice sturdy tape there. And even if I put my hand in between here, between the bubble wrap and here, I can feel the cold air inside here. So you can feel that it's making a difference. Where I feel this is about room temperature, but if I put my hand into the bit between the bubble wrap and this feature here, you can feel the cold air. So down the track, I want to install the split systems in the house. There are currently federal and state government rebates, and indeed council rebates for people installing these things. And so, that's a good time to do it when you're installing expensive items, is when the government's going to pay for some of it. So I contacted Waldrons, who are a local company. They're great. They've been around for, years, and I've always been happy with them. And they came around and gave me some quotes and looked around the house and saw where we could put some split systems in. And they were just really helpful, and very open about what I can do with a house of my size and what units would be most suitable for different rooms. They were really informative and really helpful. And I'll also be getting a heat pump to replace my instantaneous gas to heat the hot water. I need to do a little bit more research on that. There's a few options around, but I did see some representatives at the Smart Living Festival, and I've got the brochures to read through on a rainy day. And then further down the track, a long way down the track, I'll probably look at getting an induction stove. At the moment, I've got, 6 lovely big gas rings on my stove, and I'm used to cooking with gas. I've always cooked with gas. So when I bought the house, there were already solar panels installed on the roof, which is great in summer. In terms of in winter, I suppose, getting a storage battery for the panels, that's something that's probably a couple of years down the track for me. That'll be towards the end of my journey.